you, or what do you say to your clients, or what conversations do you have in talking to them about how important this is in terms of building generational wealth? What are some of the conversations you have with them around that?
Yeah, so absolutely. Recently I've been working with a young couple that they haven't started having children yet. They're married, but this is the perfect time for them, and they also understand that what they get now, I'm focusing them on not just right now but future, right? So it's okay to not have the biggest house, your first house. Get this house, stay in it a few years, then you can get the bigger house, because more than likely you've accumulated equity in this first house. Buy it in a place that's you'll be able to rent it out. Check to see if it's rentable, which more than likely in this area we have as many renters as buyers, pretty much. So it's I know that. So where they're looking at is Baltimore, and Baltimore is actually even more renter heavy than say DC. Or DC or Virginia. But the thing is, you have to start somewhere, and that's why the term starter house came. We somehow got away from being able to like get the house and then say, okay, well, I'll get my next house. It's even though you have a 30-year mortgage, you're not dedicated to stay there 30 years. You don't have to stay there 30 years. You still have to pay them. You have 30 years to pay the mortgage, but you don't have to physically remain in the house for 30 years. And it's best to, get a house, a starter house. And then if you want to rent it out, or if you sell it, whichever one works best, because some people it's best for them to rent it out. But that's easier than coming up with an investor loan down the line. Because if you purchase your house, you've lived in the house, and then you decide, oh, I want another house, that house you can turn into an investment property easier than coming up with what you would need for investor loans, say 10, at least 10-15%. When you purchase your first home, you usually probably put down 3 to 5%. So that's a big difference in how much cash you need to get an investment. So look at your first house as really the investment, either if you want to buy it, hold it, or if you want to eventually sell it when you want your next house.
That's smart.